Okay, so when we were doing equations up until now solving them, we only solved 1 and 2 steps. But if you notice the worksheet that we started yesterday, well, most of us did, it now moved on to steps beyond 1 and 2 steps. So let's have a look at some example questions. So there is such a thing as a 3-step, but everything after a 2-step is just called multi-step because there's just maybe loads of steps. Okay, let's have our first example. Okay. So we need to solve for x for this. So you can already see that it's beyond 2 steps because we have a -7 here, we have a 3, and we have a 2, and we're going to get rid of all these numbers, 3, 2, and 7. So that's 1, 2, 3 steps required at least. All right. So my first step, because these both are divided by 2, and we discussed this a little bit in class yesterday, because they're both divided by 2, my first step should be to multiply both sides by 2. Because I want to get rid of that dividing by 2, because they both are. How does it get rid of it? Well, 2 into 2 goes once, and they both were affected by that 2, so they both can cancel. 5 times 2 on this side is 10. So let's rewrite our equation now. So this is step 1 done. 3x minus 7 remains, and 5 times 2 on this side is 10. Right. So now, to finish, it's just a 2-step equation. I need to get rid of -7 and 3. So let's get rid of the 7 first. That's a -7, so the opposite to it is adding 7. Sorry, my battery is low with my phone. The phone is informing me. Better hurry up. Okay, so that's the step to get rid of the -7. Why do I do it? Because -7, +7 cancels, or I can write 0, but I don't write 0. 3x comes down here. Still 3 x's. Equal sign still there. Remember, that's our balance point. And we do the same to both sides, otherwise you change the equation. 10 plus 7 gives 17. Okay, final step then. Dividing by 3, because that's 3 times x. The opposite would be dividing by 3. 3 into 3 goes once, so I'm left with 1x, or just x, and 17. Well, 3 fits into 17. 5, I think, and 2 remainder, 5 and 2/3. So you can put it as a decimal if you want either, but fraction is probably a better answer, more accurate to use fractions. All right, so that's the first example of a multi-step equation. Let's look at a multi-step equation with brackets now. So hopefully you've taken this example down. I'll leave it up for another second. You want to take that down. Okay, second example question. Okay. So this question has 2 issues with it. There's brackets, and there's not just 1 x in the question. There's 2. Look, there's 1 over here and 1 over here. We got some issues going on here. So brackets means multiply, doesn't it? So if I wanted to get rid of the 2 multiplying that, I could divide this side by 2. But I think that would be more difficult. It'll get more difficult. So to make it easier for myself, I'm just going to use my distributive rule and multiply this out. Okay, Lauren, that's fine. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. Still minus. So that's step 1. So step 1 I did was to remove the brackets, which can be done by multiplying by 2, or I could have divided everything by 2 to cancel it out, the multiplication, but that would have left an awkward fraction over here, so I'm not going to do that. Step 2 now, in this case, because this is new, there's an x here and an x here, so I've got loads of x's, too many. I usually only have 1. Maybe I see 1 here. I know there's 3 of them, but it's only written once. Okay, well, I want to get it only written once. There's 2 of them here and 5 over here, so I'm going to remove the smaller x, the lesser x. So how do I remove the lesser x? Well, the lesser x is only 2 of them here, so I'm going to remove the lesser one by just getting rid of it, subtracting 2 x's. Now I need to balance my equation. Remember, the constant steps with this, now I'm trying to solve it. Once I did this bit, I'm trying to solve it now. The steps are always do the opposite to get rid of something, and then do the same to the other side to make sure your equation stays balanced. So that's 2x take away 2 x's. But I need to do it over here as well. And I write it underneath the x's, so I can just subtract them. You can see I've done the same to both sides of the equal sign. This 2x take away 2 x's is 0. So that's 0. Minus 6 is left here. Equal sign is here. 5 x's take away 2 x's. 3 x's. And minus 6 is here as well. All right, next step. Okay, well, I have to solve. This is a 2-step equation that I have to solve. Yeah, oops on it. I want to get rid of, so I'm looking at this x. I want x on its own. I want to get rid of this -6 and this 3. So I'll get rid of this -6 first. It's okay that it's on the right side here of the equals. That's okay. If I want to get rid of a -6, I need to add 6 to both sides. Draw a line underneath. That disappears. That's 0. This is still 3x. This is still the equal sign. Oh, this disappears as well. Oh no, that's gone. I have to write in something on this side, so I do write 0 now. So if 3 x's are 0, well, to find out what one of them is, this might be an unnecessary step. I can divide by 3. 0 divided by 3 is still 0. Well done, you. Okay, I'm going to do one final example, and then hopefully my battery doesn't run out on my phone. I'll have to switch to my computer. All right, so that's our second example. But you can see, if you're faced with brackets, remove the brackets somehow, either by multiplying or dividing. And if there's 2 x's, or x either side of the equal sign, then remove one of them. Okay. But what happens if the x's are on the same side of the equal sign? Well, we do that type next. This is our last example question. So if you think you're getting the hang of these, try and do the example question faster than me, and type the answer in the chat. So this is the final example we're going to be doing today. So I want to solve this for P. So I'm going to do it nice and slow. If you want to follow along and take notes, that's good. If you want to do it yourself and try and beat me, that's also good. Okay. First step, same as the last question, remove brackets. Okay, so if I see brackets, that's the first thing I need to get rid of. Think of it a bit like bed mass as well. If there's brackets in a question, do them first. So I can't add what's inside them because they're not like terms, so I gotta do the multiplication. So I'll do that first. And there's nothing, well, like, there's nothing I can divide that would get rid of both 6 and 4, so I won't do a division. So I'll just multiply. 6 times p, 6 times 3 to give 6p plus 18. Osborne says it's 12.5. Maybe he's right. Minus 4 times p gives minus 4p's. Minus 4 times minus 2. Am I frozen? I'll keep going. I think I've frozen, but I'll keep going. Minus 4 times minus 2 gives plus.
You're not frozen.
8. I have frozen?
No, you're not. Well,
I'm not.
I can see.
Okay. Sorry, I'm watching myself do this to make sure I'm not. Okay. And that still equals 25. So that's a plus 8. Remember, minus by minus. Okay. But this time, the p's are on the same side. There's 6 of them here, and there's 4 of them here. So step 2 in this case, I can't, if I try and get rid of the smaller p here, what's going to happen is I'm going to have to get rid of it, so I'd add 4p to get rid of that, but I'd have to add 4p on this side, and there'd still be a 4p here and a 6p, so that's no good. So I need to simplify, because I can just say 6p, if they're on the same side, 6p take away 4p is 2p, and the numbers, you can simplify them as well, 18 plus 8, so it's just a simplification question so far, is 26. Equals 25. No one's got the right answer yet in the chat. Okay, so simplify. So add like terms. If you ever can, add like terms. And I could here. Step 1 was to remove brackets. Step 2 was to simplify and add the like terms on the same side. Now, and step 3 then is finally to solve. As usual. So this is the 2 steps. So now you start removing things from both sides. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 26 because it's 26 here. Need to get rid of 26. So I'm left with 2p. Equals is still there. And 25 minus 26 is minus 1. You did, yeah. And then I need to, 2p's is minus 1, so I need to divide by 2 to finish. 2 into 2 goes once, and p is negative a half, or you can write it negative 0.5 if you want. Yeah, we have it. Okay, so these are difficult ones. Now, that's as hard as they'll ever get solving equations, but we need to work on this a lot. So we're going to be working on it for the rest of the week and possibly some next week as well. Okay, let's just stop the recording.